Jackie Kashian, Laurie Kilmartin.
We're here. We're not queer. Get used to it. Did I ever tell you that Tom Papa? I think it was Tom Papa. Papa. It might have been Andy Richter, but one of them, I was talking to him, and I think it was Andy.
It's kind of quite an either or. I mean,
it's a spectrum. But
how
they're
do
just
they live in the same place in your brain. I don't get it.
Almost everyone lives in this. Remember, my brain is not linear; it is stacked. And so the but I think it was Andy said that his daughter got into the car, and she was like 11 or 12, and I guess she got in the car and she goes, "Well, I guess I'm straight."
That is a very Andy's daughter thing to say. So I'm going to say it's Andy. Yeah.
Yeah. So it made me laugh.
That's funny. Well,
right.
I'm back home. I was in Iowa this weekend. I had second Sunday in a row where I had a very early flight through Dallas, and I did not sleep the night before, and I felt horrible. I did take a $62 nap at the Dallas airport because I had
How is that?
It's something called Minute Suites. And I think they're at other airports too, but they have them in the A and
they have them at. I've never seen them. I've heard of them. Wait, what is it?
Well, let me finish. It's in the A and the D terminal at Dallas, not Love, which is the Southwest airport. It's just regular DFW, and it's $55 for an hour, and you can just go in and sleep on a little couch.
Is it a full room or is it a bunk bed?
It's not a bunk bed. It's got a little desk and a couch that you can stretch your legs out on. You can be prone. You can be completely comfortable for an hour. I went in completely knocked out, and when my alarm woke me up an hour later, I was very disoriented.
Whoa.
and needing about $200 more worth of sleep, but couldn't afford it.
How long was the layover?
It was 3 hours or so. It was a 5 a.m. flight. I had to get a 3:30 lift.
Oh, God.
My Lyft driver had a very sad story. It was like a story that she started, and I thought, oh, well, the person she's talking about gets better.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just assumed.
Did you know that at 3:30 in the morning you had committed to that you had bought a ticket to her one-woman show? Probably not.
It ended horribly. I was like, oh my God, this is awful. Anyway, you know what, Jackie?
What?
Terrible things happen to people, and they keep going on, and they keep waking up at 3 a.m. to pick people up for airport rides.
So true. I was told today by Jesse Thorne. That's right, founder of MaximumFun.org.
Correct.
Has 3 podcasts of his own. Bullseye, that one with Judge John Hodgman.
Oh yeah,
and one with Jesse called Jordan Jesse Go. And he had interviewed some fancy musician musical producer about 10, 12 years ago, and the guy had a quote about. Oh, it was about how MP3s, that's how long ago it was. It was how MP3s were going to affect the music industry. And I guess the guy said, well, the music industry is sort of like tennis. Everyone likes playing tennis, but only a few people get to make money playing tennis. But people still like to play tennis.
Right.
And I was like, wow, that describes, I think, everything but plumbing.
Now, was it Steve Albini? Because he just died. Okay, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly who it was.
Wow.
Yeah, and it really, I was like, oh yeah, I'm still playing tennis, and I make a living. It's but it's not. But I would still do it if I did not make a living. I probably shouldn't say that out loud. The cruise ship's still up in the air.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they can't. They cannot seem to get all of the information in one place. So I've had to turn it over to my agent and say, could you get all of the information in one place? And he's like, yeah, I've been trying to get them to call me. And then I was told they were going to call me today, but they're going to call me tomorrow.
Oh, so he's still working with you sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no, he's working with me. He hasn't dropped me or anything. He was like, I just don't, if you want to book your own stuff, you should do that. And so I have taken it upon myself to do
No
such a
one
thing.
wants to book their own stuff. That's why we give 10% of our income to somebody.
Yes,
so
it's
they
true.
can do it.
Yes.
No one wants to. Fuck.
Do you know why no one wants to? Is something that we've all had to learn the hard way. We're not as good at it as the person who does it as a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it turns out
I
the deal
respect your
that you
skill
get,
and your
that skill.
expertise.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't have it.
I would, you know, much like sitting in on this social media thing, I would love to sit in just for a day of him talking to different bookers
God,
and how
I know.
he puts it. And
Right.
because I think that there's language, there's shorthand, and he is beloved. So I would like to learn that shorthand. Oh, well.
I mean, you know,
it's not an option, it turns out.
a lot of them would prefer to talk to a central person like that because you can say no to somebody or yes to, you know, without having to say no to them in person or on email, you know?
Right.
So even we're at a, not only do we not have the same contacts and relationships as, you know, a professional PA person, but we're at that disadvantage of where they're like, oh, I just don't want to talk.
Right.
To
Though
her.
weirdly enough, some of the clubs are like, I would rather talk to the actual comic than X, Y, or Z agent, because some agents aren't good at it.
Right.
And they're lucky if they've got someone so powerful that they have to be dealt with, kind of.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say most of, not all of them, but about half of those clubs don't want to talk to your representatives because your representatives won't let you work for that little.
Right. I mean, they also
Right?
have that too, is that
Yeah.
they'll highball, which, you know, it gets me more money when it works and gets me no money when it doesn't work. But in other news, I'm doing a show with Emo Phillips and Matt Kirshen on Memorial Day in Santa Monica called The Sci-Fi Experience.
Okay.
And Emo was like, you have science fiction jokes, right? And I was like, no, not really. I'm just a giant nerd. So they're going to have to hear the jokes. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at a little bit. I'm like, why don't you hire me? I'll do the jokes that I've written, and then you cannot hire me again. How about that? Even though, because I was just realizing with the cruise ship thing, that's what I think a lot of people do. They say yes to everything, and then they just go on the cruise ship and do their act. And then they never do it again. Whereas I have had too many day jobs in my life, and I'm used to taking direction. And so if you tell me, don't swear, don't do this, they don't want to hear that, they don't want to hear this. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll write around it or I'll do whatever you want. My brain's attached to my mouth. But I think that there's a lot of comics who are just like, okay. And then they go up and do whatever they do. And it's either that they either liked or unliked.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who are people getting fired off of cruises left and right. Is that a thing?
Yeah, to my knowledge, cruise ships can be very critical. But I think that they're less critical, and that you go if I go in with a head full of don't, it would probably be better for me to go with a head of just try to have fun and have them have fun. And then if it goes well, you'll do it again. And if it doesn't go well, you won't do it again.
Yeah. Oh, right. I see what you're saying. Yeah. You want it to go well, so you can do it again.
Well, I'd like to like it enough to do it again because I don't think it pays great, but I think it pays okay. And it could fill in some weeks.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'll only come home with like $2,400, which...
And you'll be gone for
5 days, and I have to fly to Florida and be on a cruise ship, which is not my idea.
That's a lot of extra work.
It's a lot of work.
Can you sell merch on a cruise ship?
They take 60%, according to the handbook.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
Right. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if this is... I mean, I'm sure there's other cruise ships and there's other deals.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. But all I know is I love to do stand-up and want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Yeah, no, I'd have to, like right now, if I do a theater with Maria, I charge $40 for t-shirts and hats. because they take $5 a pop each. And I usually charge $30. I think they're $40 online just because of shipping on the website.
Yeah.
But yeah, but because in clubs they're just $30. And that's just me doubling everything.
Yeah, I didn't bring my merch to this. I
Iowa?
just had one set, and it was in
Yeah.
a theater, so I didn't want to merch out. Yeah. But I did okay in Dayton. It was weird.
Good.
I was kind of surprised. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, flying to the middle of this country, unless it's directly to Chicago where you have a gig, it's an all-day affair.
Oh yeah.
It's an all-day affair. Maybe,
right. Yeah. I have a weird run. Yeah.
Yeah. If you leave from New York, you're on the same time zone, you're gaining an hour, so you can probably fly that day of. But if you're leaving from LA, you have 2 shows in Ohio that night. You have to go in the night before, or you're going to get there fucking exhausted, or miss your connecting flight.
Right. Exactly. I'm doing this this show outside of Toronto the week after I do Vermont.
Oh, cool.
And I'm also trying to tack on Pittsburgh to that. So I'm just grinding it out, Laurie.
Yeah. I need to after I get done with this little run, the summer is looking slightly bare. Yeah.
I've been home for 3 weeks, and I'm home for another 2.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no money in that. Yeah.
There's no money in it at all. And, clubs do get sick of you. It's nice when you're out for a couple of weeks and then, I'm back and I've got new material. Hello. Rather than, I'm calling again for the 4th week in a row.
I did sets this weekend at Flappers with Billy Gardell and Adam Ferrara and
cool.
several times.
Fun.
And I was like, hey guys, are you still working on that same tenor? And I'm still working on my 10. And I did, because it was the 5th set at Flappers in 2 nights.
Yeah.
I worked on the new stuff that's almost done instead of the new stuff that needs a lot of work. Just because it was so dark. Everybody who went up, it was just super dark. And my new stuff it's not dark, but it isn't done. So it isn't as fun. So I wanted them to have a good time for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Instead of whatever. So
I might have that one story I was working on. I think I have
Nicaragua?
it finished. Yes. And the ending beat. And now I want to try to go back and then see if I can add more jokes on the way.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That was one that I felt like I finished in Iowa City.
Good.
Okay. I listened to a bunch of different sets, different versions of, and I'm like, I like this part and this part. Let me try to put it all together. Yeah, I don't know.
That's great. I have a set after this over in the Burbank area.
At the Roguelike Tavern.
At the Roguelike Tavern, which Andy really wants to go to, because he's like, I hear they reskinned it for nerds. And I was like, yeah. They did.
I don't know what that means, but
they redesigned it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Remodeled. I think they used in the
Yeah.
It looks good. It used to be a different venue completely, but it looks good. I don't have anything. Yesterday was a horrible day, and horrible travel day, and I just felt bad all day, and I'm like, because you slept for an hour in an airport. That was it.
Right.
So it's okay.
Right.
You're not. Everything isn't falling apart. You have done a horrible thing
certainly
to your
isn't
body.
you. Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right. Drink some more water. It's
So I think I got a nice night's sleep last night, but today I was just doing little social media things or prepping stuff, or Are
you heading out this week again?
No, this weekend I'm home, and then the next weekend I go to Burlington, and the weekend after that I do Portland and Milwaukee in the same week.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a lot of travel coming up. So I'm happy to just hang out with my kid for a little bit. he graduates from he turns into a senior on Friday because
I was like, did I miss a year when you said he graduates?
He graduates from junior year.
Do they call it that? Is that what they call it?
I think parents do. I think he graduated from kindergarten. Here's his diploma. Yeah, we get all into that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Well, my parents just said that you finished junior year. Thank God you're going to go to senior year and they're not holding you back. So
yeah, he's taken some fun electives. So I think I did encourage him to just go take cool shit you might never take ever again.
Okay.
You know, sculpture, kind of fun
yeah,
stuff.
mix it up. Yeah.
Because he's not trying to get into Harvard. You know, we're probably going to go junior college, you know, super likely, and then see what's happening after that.
I think it's the smartest idea in the world. I know that when I went to Madison, it was a waste of very little money. I mean, luckily it was very, very cheap, even though it took me 20 years to pay off my, I think $12,000 or $20,000 in student loans. 'Cause I was a comic from my second year of college.
Whoa.
And wanted to drop out the whole time, but I'm glad I finished. I am glad, but there's such great community colleges in this state, and
for sure,
that are quality education. Do you know that I did a Dork Forest with Anna
Valenzuela,
and hi Kyle,
queen of community colleges. I knew the second you said it.
Well, and hilariously, she said that one of the reasons why she sometimes enrolls in community college is if she can't afford a gym membership.
Mm-hmm.
Because you get a free gym membership. And you can also, because you can use the gym.
Too.
You know who just completed an accounting class? Matt Knudsen.
Oh, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to, Andy took, I think it was trigonometry or calculus a couple of years ago, just for funsies.
Yeah, I would like to take something economics, because I'm so murky and money, and it's like,
yeah, like a Quicken thing. I would love to. When I say I would love to, I would love to know Quicken. I don't want to take the class. I want to take Latin. That's what I want to take. I've always wanted to take Latin. Yeah,
sure.
I took it in high school and college, and I was so bad at it.
Yeah.
That I bet you I'd be a lot better at it.
Yeah, for sure. You have to avenge your former self.
I would like to avenge my former self.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, basically, class, right? Because we have road work and stuff. But yeah.
My brother Russ is taking flute lessons, and he's also getting he's decided to go back for his master's in something like European poetry. He's the straightest gay guy in the world, Russ Kashian.
He has a very secure job, though, right?
He has a giant bag of Scrooge McDuck money. He's fine.
Yes, okay.
He's also 62 years old.
Yeah.
So he's done.
Yeah, right. They say, you know, I mean, I'm just like looking for my. Here's like he's working on this animation, and he just completed like making the mouth move to the VO. It looks really cool. Like it's like 7 seconds long, but it's just like the template. It's really neat, but it's like, is this like, are we encouraging our children in the arts? Is that a terrible idea? Not even that arts were hard. They have always been hard to make a living at, but is there a living anymore in it? Or is it all just going to go right to AI? And what a fucking awful time for these kids to come up in, you know?
No, it's great. It's really great.
Oh,
there's more tools, because there's more tools and there's more things that you can make your own art. And AI won't replace humanity. It just can't. And I know that it can replace. I know that it can replace advertising, and it can be everywhere. I understand that, but I'm saying the satisfaction that your son will get from playing tennis will pay for. And, you know, I will tell you this is something Andy's dad said to him when he was a kid. He said, "Never work for a living. Eventually, they'll pay you to do the thing you love."
I don't think that's true.
That's your life. That's what you've lived. You've lived that.
But a lot of people don't live like that.
That's because they didn't choose to live like that. They didn't have Clyde Ashcraft telling them not to do that. Because that's how I've lived my life. I'm not saying that everybody does that. I'm saying it's a great attitude to go through life.
It is if you have the ability to do that, to take that,
which is you did. Yeah.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about, but I'm saying with encouraging he can make art. Yes, anyone can make art, and he can make great stuff. I'm saying, who will buy it? Are people going to buy?
Right, right. No. Because you're a parent, you're going to worry about his financial security.
Of course.
But I don't think he should. As his aunt, I'm going to tell him to fucking go out there and live it up, boy. Do what you want to do, and don't listen to your mom. He's not. The good news, he's not listening to you.
He is. I'm telling him that too, and he's in a group with grown-up animators, and they're all over the place too. I mean, the Art Directors Guild canceled their internship program because they said we can't in good conscience train people to do this because we have a 75% unemployment rate right now.
Right. Well, and Andy teaches at NYFA, New York Film Academy.
Yeah.
And he teaches game design, but there is a huge every coven, that's not what they're called, core, the group of students, there's only class, but they all go through it the 3 or 4 years that it takes to get the degree, because they get degrees in film, they get degrees in animation, they get degrees in direction, and there's something called transmedia that they all have to take.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they're in the screenwriting program or in the filmmaking program or the game design program, they have to take transmedia, if I understand this correctly, where they have to get a project that is a video game, a web comic, a movie, an animated series, and a podcast. And they have to make that IP, the IP that they create, into all of those different things. Yeah, that intellectual property is theirs, and they make it over all of those platforms. And so it's an excellent idea. It's just a really cool course. Mm-hmm. And we've always been promised, with the advent of technology, that there'll be more sitting around time, that there'll be more. There's an amazing book that Ian M. Banks, whatever, Player of Games. Kyle, did you ever read it?
Which one?
Player of Games, Ian M. Banks.
No, that has not jumped out at me.
Okay, it's excellent. But it's about a world where there's time to make games and play games and create art and do these things.
Yeah.
And it's sentient AI. Sort of, it's the positive, not utopia, because it isn't a utopia, right? There's still jerks, and even the sentient AI, some of them are turns out they might be mean. Anyway.
But I think that's possible if there's like a universal basic income. If there's like a minimum that people are given, then you can have someone that's like, I'm just going to live off the minimum and make art, fine. But
right, and they're also called shitty day jobs, which is what I always did, which was sort of the universal basic income. And I had enough energy. Like when I moved to Los Angeles, I was probably 30, 32, 31. Mm-hmm. And I had a full-time day job. I had a part-time side hustle, doing childcare, and I did open mic every night. And I did it for 3 years. And then for 2 years, I got in and I got to do book shows, and I stopped doing as many open mics. But I had the energy to do it.
Yeah.
It's just, youth. It's not wasted on the young. They got the energy to do it. But I get why you're worried. I get it.
Yeah, I just see a lot of people. Everyone says it's a great job market, but there's a lot of people that aren't working, and they're not holding out for like the highest. They're trying to get anything, I don't know.
In our industry or in all
Los
industries?
Angeles.
Okay.
Just trying to get something to make money in all industries. Somebody, whatever.
Okay.
It's just, it's worrisome.
It's worrisome. Yes.
That's what I think. I'm like, well, at least stand up. You have it's live performance. You can't be replaced. You can be replaced by other stand-ups, but live performance.
And people can sit around. But if people want to see live performance, they got to come out. They got to do it.
Although,
Yeah.
you know what? Who didn't? It was our Patreon and Max Fun supporters last week, because we had a Zoom show.
Yep.
And we had like 90 people, and they're really well trained, and you guys are a great audience. Like
such a great audience.
Like holding business meetings and forgetting to mute and all that kind of stuff,
Right. And so essentially it was Max Fun sent out an email with the Zoom link. We put the Zoom link in the Patreon, and I sent out the link on my email list. Because it's not really a Dork Forest thing, but I felt like the people who subscribe to my email list deserve it too,
Sure.
During lockdown, I used to create a flyer. There was a spreadsheet. You would give me $5. I would send you a link. You would register, and then you would come.
Yeah, I remember.
It was a project, right? And so now we just do that. And so with the Patreon and the Max Fund, they've already donated. But we had other comics in, and I put my Venmo and my PayPal in, and I was like, we will split this money. We'll take some, but we'll split this money with the other comics. And we got like $800. So it was respectable.
Yes, a couple people got who was it was Sharon Mahoney. Who else was on our show?
Amanda Cohen, Virginia.
No, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Virginia. Is that it?
No, maybe, can't remember.
Anyway, it was a nice little
Kyle
little
was supposed to come.
Kyle was supposed to come. A little payday for 10 minutes from your house. Not too bad.
Right. I was looking to see if I could find just so you know, I'm trying to leave my phone far away so that this is happening. Huh? We're connecting.
It's too much connection. It makes me uncomfortable. Go back to the old Jackie.
I have several stickers for the sticker level of Patreon.
Oh, cool.
One was just delivered.
I have two.
Oh, you have two
designs.
set up? Okay.
Yeah,
the last one's in my bag. If you want to meet me at the Roguelike Cat Tavern in about an hour and a half, I could give it to you.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm home for the night.
Fair enough. I could do a drive-by, I suppose, but
you could throw it out the window.
Just slow down. I'll look for the giant abortion sign. Oh, I went to Liz Winstead's documentary.
Oh, how was it?
So good.
Oh my God.
So good. Here's the thing about a documentary about the abortion access front and the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Sounds like a downer.
It really does.
Right.
When you put it like that. Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, I wish to be supportive. I love Liz Winstead. She, one of the creators of The Daily Show. I love abortion access, even though TikTok don't need it now. But here's the scoop. It was hilarious. It was so informative and very touching, and also very funny because everyone allowed their snippets of their sets to be used.
Oh, cool.
For some of the fundraisers. Joelle, Ian Harvey, Greg Proops.
Oh, that's great.
A woman named Jay, another guy whose name I'm forgetting. Fantastic. I love all of you. But they've entered it into several film festivals. They just need distribution. And
that's great.
It's so good. It's so good. I was psyched.
Yay.
Yeah.
I couldn't go. I did Love It or Leave It.
That's right. Was it fun?
And it was live. Yeah, we taped it at there's like a little theater at Sirius. Did you know that? Sirius XM?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been in it before. It's called The Garage.
I've heard of it.
So I think there's like maybe 25 people in the audience, and John Lovett is out off for like a month, so he has guest hosts.
Right. Maria did it.
I saw. So Larry Wilmore was the guest host.
Oh, cool. Speaking of The Daily Show.
He's so funny. He did
so
like
great.
a 20-minute monologue, and I'm like, if that's a long mono. Andy Richter did the same. I watched a couple of previous ones, and it's good. Just like clip, just really, really good. He's really, really funny.
That's gross. He's so good.
Yeah, he is, and he's super smart, and he's just very good. And then the guests were me. I went out for a little bit to talk, and he started referencing a couple of bits from Sis Woke Grief Slut that a couple of them I have burned out of my brain, and I'm like, I was trying to. I'm like, I should have prepped for this. I thought we were just talking about, our topic, which was the royal family.
Oh, right.
And but I think I at the last minute, a few jokes emerged from the hidey holes where I keep them now in case of emergency. And so I did them, and then so that was fun. And then I'm in the green room. The other guests are Bradley Whitford from The West Wing
and Wisconsin.
And, yes. Oh, yes. I didn't know that. Get Out. My son was there, and he's like, "Oh, it's a Get Out guy." I'm like, "It's The West Wing guy."
It's Bradley Whitford.
And yes, and then Lily Rabe and Hamish Linklater, Linklater, Linklater. Did you watch oh fuck, it's on Apple TV. It's Manhunt. Did you watch Manhunt?
We don't have Apple.
Okay, so he plays Abraham Lincoln.
Wow.
I loved his Abraham Lincoln because he's not like the noble, serious Abe that we're used to. He's
right,
sort
he's
of
not
funny.
The guy on the penny.
Yes, he's very funny and lanky and kind of like, just really a different vibe. Charming, yes. And she's a great actress, and they have a movie together, and so they were there, and so it was pretty fun. It was pretty cool.
Okay. Lateral, just going to ask, did you, and your son might also enjoy this, I don't know if you ever saw Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
No, but I think the person in it was the bad guy from Bad Sisters.
Possibly. I never saw Bad. Too dark?
Jackie, when are you going to get Apple TV? How many more times I have to say, "Did you see?" and you shake your head no?
Well, here's the thing. It turns out I could probably afford Apple TV because I thought we were spending like $300 a month on television. And it turns out we're only spending like $110 a month on television. And we have
you can afford Apple.
Everything. The thing that we mostly spend it on, it's not Netflix. Netflix is almost the most expensive. It's the second most expensive. It's Amazon. Amazon Prime plus BritBox, Acorn, and MGM Plus.
Oh, BritBox. Yeah, I want to get BritBox.
And Acorn.
How much?
Acorn's amazing.
What's Acorn?
Acorn has the stuff that BritBox doesn't have. It's all British and Canadian and Australian and New Zealand stuff.
Okay.
It is they're like $7 or $9 a month per.
Right.
Like $6.99 or $8.99. Yeah.
Those are the 4 countries. Those are the parts of the Commonwealth that King Charles likes to visit. Like, it came out during all this stuff that he doesn't like to go to Africa.
Shucks.
The whole
continent.
Even though his country destroyed most of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
I'm sure it is. Does he want to go to India? He's probably not welcome.
He likes India, I guess. But Harry and Meghan had a very successful tour of Nigeria. So that kicked off a lot of craziness in my Sussex Squad Twitter list, as you can imagine, Jackie. I've been riveted.
Riveted?
Aren't we at 30 minutes?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a break.
Oh, okay.
And let's do a comic of the week. You got one.
Our comic of the week, Cara Connors.
Oh my gosh.
She's very funny. She has a comedy dynamic special out as well. And I guess she's LA based.
Yeah, she's right, because she's got a thing at Permanent Records and a couple other shows. I think at the Elysium or something like that. But is it Cara Connors comedy, Kyle?
Yes, it is Cara Connors comedy.
No, it's Cara Conn's comedy. CONNS comedy.
Sorry, I read it wrong.
On Instagram, yeah.
CARACONNSCOMEDY. Go follow.
Yeah.
We can hear you typing, by the way. It sounds like the burble.
I'm trying to pull it away.
Yeah, she has a ton of clips too.
So find her, Cara Connors.
Enjoy.
She's good people.
So I posted a clip from my Corden set.
Okay.
The joke about making my son go through encyclopedias, right? Instead of Googling something.
Such a great joke.
Thank you. The comments have been insane. Of people going, how could you do that? Someone said I was punching down. How can And then it's
punching
a lot of like,
down.
I guess
they would have to get that joke for them to even. No.
I know, but the theme tool, and it's mostly men saying, "Why would you do that to your son? Maybe
why don't you just give him a $1,200 phone?" Well, how about none of it's real?
Yeah. Thematically, the comments have been like, why don't you just move on? We all move on. Why are you even talking about encyclopedias? Just like, why are you engaging with a joke like this? Do you? Why?
No. Yes, that's insane. That's completely. It's yeah. I don't even know. I'm
just like, I would never do that. Guess what? I didn't either. It's stand-up comedy, dumb fuck.
I didn't either. That's funny. Yeah, I know. I curate the comments, and then 800-Pound Gorilla has been posting the same clips over and over again. I posted a clip from 800-Pound Gorilla that was doing very well, and they took the ad revenue. I must have signed away the ad revenue from Facebook to 800-Pound Gorilla.
Okay.
And so they were like, "Hey, that's our ad revenue." And I'm like, "Okay, I think I made $5 this week, Facebook. All right." I'm grinding it out. Did you like my notes? Did you get my 2-pager?
I did. Thank you. You know what? I think I need to do a little sesh with her too, so I can ask questions and stuff.
Okay.
So I took. Let's see. I took the Black Twitter clip, that I had on from Don't Tell.
Right.
And then I made an ad, or I don't know. I'm trying to hit it in Milwaukee, like the week that I'm at the Laughing Tap. And we'll see. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what works to fill the room.
Right.
So I can get a bonus.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be
and
great.
See if I can start engineering that. I don't know. It was really weird how that encyclopedia bit, because I forgot to make a cover for Instagram. So it just shows, it doesn't even say anything about it, just me in red yelling. That's what you see.
Right. But, and you can't edit it. There's so many steps to it that I'm like, I forgot to do the, like, I have consistently forgotten to download, after I do the captions, I'm supposed to download the file from Instagram before. It has the watermark on it, and then I can use it on TikTok and
Facebook
and YouTube, and it won't be an issue because I will have edited the captions. It was funny. Laura was like, "You have to edit the captions. Do you know that your name is spelled incorrectly? Please do not allow that." And then she also hates it when I post anything sort of vaguely informative and I put the pictures the wrong way. And I'm like, "Well, I couldn't make the picture fit with the words." And she was like, "Just wanted to show you this real quick." And so too funny. Anyway, she's cleaning up my YouTube though, so I'm hoping.
It's so much to become an expert in,
Yeah.
It would be nice to hire someone to do all this stuff, but I can see how much work it is, so I understand why it costs a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were going to talk about me going to Edinbourugh.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever gone?
I did it in 2004.
For the month or for
Doug,
just
well, hold on, let me tell you.
Oh, right.
Doug Stanhope's manager, Brian Hennigan, got a month at this venue called the Velvet Lounge, I think.
Okay.
And so he, myself, and James Inman each took 10 days.
That's
right. So it wasn't the full thing. And Hennigan did a lot of the work that mostly comics have to do themselves,
right?
Including finding a place for us to stay. Mm-hmm. Myself and my son's father, we were together and not hating each other at the time. And so that was taken care of. So I did not have the full experience of A, the full month, and B, flyering and just trying to get any sort of attention, because Hennigan took care of a lot of it, which was nice. But I would love to do that one day again, that full month.
Yeah. It's I'm doing a weird Kyle Ayers show, his podcast. I think we're recording it this week, and it is you write a scene from a movie you've never seen that everyone knows.
Right.
And I offered Lawrence of Arabia, and The Big Lebowski. And they picked The Big Lebowski. Martha Kelly told me
I
that
don't think everyone knows Lawrence of Arabia, by the
Oh,
way.
okay.
Maybe
It's
every director does, but I
right,
don't know
because it's a giant classic. Everyone I know thinks that it's a shame I haven't seen it. I haven't seen The Godfather 2 and 3. Like, I offered a bunch of things that people supposedly have seen. But hilariously, Martha told me that she did The Big Lebowski, Martha Kelly, 2 years ago. And I was like, oh, I hope I don't overlap. But she said, well, my scene was about how I think The Big Lebowski is about two dogs, one called the Little Lebowski and one called the Big Lebowski. And I was like, I don't think it was anywhere close.
I just watched The Big Lebowski for the first time, like last year.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of women haven't seen it because it seems like a dude movie, and the people that love it are really annoying men. You know,
it seems like it was made for guys who are about 42 years old right now.
Yeah.
And so I made everyone 42 years old in the scene. And I also did a scene with two women in the background that does not pass the Bechdel test. So that was, and I ended it on a very funny joke. Two people who have seen the movie have read it and said that it nails it. So
nice.
Yeah, so that's good news. And then I'm doing some table read of an animated show at Titmouse Studios at the end of the month. It'd be really great if I got any kind of recurring on an animated series.
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Oh, it would really solve the fact that I do this podcast in my pajamas. I was looking at one of our clips and I was like, hey, Jackie, why don't you bring it up a notch? You could bathe, you could put on some lipstick, you could fucking do something. I don't know. Yeah.
I think we would startle our longtime fans if we
longtime listeners
looked well on this podcast. Jackie,
yes.
I had a tweet that did okay because at one point Jasmine Crockett, a representative from Texas, got in a sort of a word fight. Did you see with Marjorie Taylor Greene? And then AOC came in to defend her. And I said this, because there's a lot of like these old white men that write for The Atlantic are like, this is not how democracy's supposed to work. Democrats need to be serious. And I'm like, you know what's cool? It's three members of Congress. Yes, one of them is insane, but it's three female members of Congress, and they're not talking about men. They totally passed the Bechdel test. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch. And it was like, and they weren't being that, the women in Congress tend to be like really patient, and they're trying to live in this world that's very tightly scripted of Congress,
and the men aren't.
The men don't, and it's fine because they're men, they can be mad. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, although I believe she tried to literally murder AOC on January 6th, she's opened a door for just different kind of speaking, I guess, in that sense. So it was. I enjoyed it, even though it was the end of democracy, according to Tom Nichols.
Tom Nichols can blow me. How about that? Why don't I take that to the floor of Congress?
Sure.
Why don't I give you one of my vibrators that's shaped like a dick, and you suck it off, Tom Nichols?
Whoa.
I have some rage. But because the way the men act is so childish and so petulant and so measuring of their penises, there's no reason for women to restrain themselves. And it isn't the end of democracy. The parliament in England has been shouting at each other for hundreds of years. Right. So slow your roll, ding dongs. I will say this though, Chris, who is the only reason why I see any kind of sort of late night, like she watches Colbert, she watches Kimmel, and she watches The View. And so
she is consuming so much comedy.
It's insane. Dangerous. She watched Kevin Hart's Mark Twain last night.
What?
That's the correct answer.
Kevin Hart did Mark Twain. What is it?
He got the Mark Twain Award. Kevin Hart.
Oh, the award. Okay, yeah.
The only funny joke, Fallon in a song.
Okay.
And it was yet another one of the thousands of "Hey Kevin Hart, you aren't tall" jokes, but it was
Wait,
that
I just finished the roast. Wait a minute.
I know, that's why because we watched that too. But I will say this is that Fallon he sang a song, and in the song he said that Kevin Hart buys his clothes at Build-A-Bear, and that made me laugh. And that's a funny joke.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But Chappelle was, and there was some nice sincerity. Tiffany Haddish. Anyway, there was some nice sincere stuff, and but Chris was also like, there was a lot of swearing. There didn't need to be that many swearing. His kids were there, and I said, "Do you remember how much swearing happens in my mouth? First of all, in this house, and second of all, your mouth and Fran's mouth in the last 20 years that I've known you." And so she was like, "I know, but we weren't on TV." So I was like, okay.
That's interesting because Adam Sandler got it last year. And so a couple of us were writing stuff for Conan, but I got the feeling wasn't on PBS, and isn't it a little...
Yeah, you would have thought they would have classed it up.
Oh.
But they didn't.
Okay.
There were a lot of F-bombs, a lot of motherfuckers, and a lot of N on N wording.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Was it at the Kennedy Center?
Probably. I'm unfamiliar. I did perform at the Kennedy Center once with Maria Bamford.
Any of that milestone shit.
Well,
maybe I never will, Jackie. You can't have every experience in comedy.
You can't. Let's take another break before you burst into tears. So this week you're home.
Right.
This week I can't remember where I am. I have been getting DMs over Twitter for where are you performing locally? And I'm like, I rarely go on Twitter anymore. I find Twitter a lot. Yeah. And so tonight, like when this goes up, I don't have anything. Oh yeah, I don't think I have any sets this week. I was thinking about doing a comedy brunch on Friday. Is that something?
I'm around. I'm doing a local Don't Tell in Orange County on Friday night.
Oh, that's fun.
Or wait, Saturday night. Okay. I'll get the DM on Saturday morning where it is, but it's somewhere like around Long Beach or Huntington or somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I should probably submit. I might get.
It's not a filmed one. It's just a.
Just a tiny paid local gig. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the out of town ones pay better, and if you get to close, they pay better. But yeah, I'm just I'm gonna go to Disneyland tomorrow. I kind of wanted to go alone because I don't know if have you ever been to Disneyland?
When I took my son to Japan.
Okay.
We went to Tokyo Disneyland. And we were there around Christmas time, which is a vacation time there. And it was insane. I think I've told you this, but I had a battery pack for my phone so that we wouldn't lose power. And we watched the entire Avengers movie, which was 2.5 hours, in line for one ride that was less than a minute.
So that's the one Disney experience you've had with an amusement park?
Yes, and I'll never go again. I got it. I understand.
Does he enjoy amusement parks at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Guess what? He's like me. We have similar tastes. It's fucking awesome.
It's great. I like them. And though I don't like, I'm not a huge, I like a big roller coaster, but I don't like a super fast, drop from the sky thing. So Six Flags and that kind of stuff aren't entirely my jam. Though Coney Island, I did go on the largest wooden roller coaster on Coney Island 20 years ago. And then I also went on a tilt-a-whirl where the guy running the tilt-a-whirl said, "We're going to be on this tilt-a-whirl until somebody throws up. So strap in." And we were on that thing for almost 10 minutes. And then he said, "Get the hose." And I thought it was going to be me. I was almost going to throw up, and somebody else threw up. Yeah. Turns out that guy was bored.
It wasn't a predetermined set time. He could manually stop it when he wanted to.
Oh yeah, the tilt-a-whirl at Coney Island. I'm surprised he's not pedaling. Yeah, no, that thing's old. So
wow.
Yeah, and so I wanted to go to Disneyland because I've always kind of wanted to go by myself, to just go do whatever the fuck I wanted to do.
It's great.
Yeah.
Do you go by yourself, Kyle?
I have back in the past. When I lived in Long Beach, I had a pass, and I would just go by myself. I'd bring a book. I'd find a line and just do reading for college by myself. It was amazing.
Wow.
It just sounds relaxing and super fun.
Cannot recommend it enough.
Right. So, and now I'm going with 6 people.
Boo.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Which I will have fun. I'll have fun, but it won't be the same experience. And that's fine. But what I want to go on is because someone just did the Dork Forest about Disneyland, because there's a Mickey Mouse ride now in Toontown that has the same tech as the Star Wars ride that I really enjoyed, Rise of the Resistance.
I think
but
it's
get
a better
this
ride.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I will say this is that I recorded 2 Dork Forests, one yesterday, one today. And the one that's going up tomorrow, or yesterday in this case, is about women in the Olympics. Ooh. And it was done by this woman named Maria Kay, is my guest. And she just wrote her dissertation about women in the Olympics and published the book. She just listens to the show and wanted to be on the show. And so
neat.
It's an attainable goal if you're willing to be a squeaky wheel and wait. So, women in the Olympics. Here's an enraging fun fact. A couple of things started out as co-ed, all of the rifles, and the pistols, and they were co-ed until the women won.
What?
Yep. And I think the equestrian thing is still co-ed, but the ski jump is still. The women's ski jump is lower than the men's ski jump for no fucking reason. Yeah.
Why? I'm sure they train on the same shit. They don't have different mountains for women when they're training.
Exactly. And she told me that the reason that they wouldn't allow women into the Olympics initially and wouldn't let women run the marathon was something called uterine something. They thought that our uteruses would fall out if we exercised. Not even kidding. And there were doctors who had done no studies on this. They were just assholes who were like, "Yeah, that'll probably happen," and so that was the reason given. Uteruses are going to fall out in some woman who goes off the same ski jump as a dude, and also wrestling. Women don't get to do a certain kind of wrestling because it might put too much pressure on their parts.
Even still. Oh my God! But they do it in college.
I don't know about this is because it all comes from college, doesn't it? Most of the.
Yeah, but I think the IOC is its own thing about when they allow sports and what sports, and it's a lot of Europeans, some old world sexist Europeans, I'm sure.
Yeah, and but she told me about the founding of it. It was pretty amazing, and so it'll be a really great episode if you guys want to listen to the Dork Forest. She's super interesting, or just get her book. If you don't want to listen to the Dork Forest, you can. Please listen to the Dork Forest. But it's the history of women in the Olympics. 1896 to 2021.
Wow. I love it. So does she have Katie Ledecky? Did she talk about she knew who got fucked over were the swimmers, everyone from the 1980 Olympics,
Oh, right. Yeah.
Tracy Calkins would be a household fucking name. So would Mary T. Maher.
Right.
Had they been able to go. They were both world record holders. And Tracy Calkins was like, she was like a polymath, but in every single stroke she was great at. Yeah,
weird.
Only Mary T was better than her in fly, and Mary T was like 14 years old.
In different kinds of swimming.
Yeah,
in different strokes. I did not know that there's okay.
What? backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle.
Okay.
What are you doing with your hands? I'm getting angry now.
This is freestyle.
No. You're petting a dog right now. That's not freestyle.
Oh my gosh. And then today, Jesse Thorne about baseball, he was telling me that because baseball is not my jam, right? I mean,
Right.
no sports are, but he was fascinating about sort of the way baseball has changed, and it came from some nerd who made a spreadsheet in the 80s, and he realized that it didn't really matter. Some of the things that old baseball coaches and stuff were constantly doing, like batting order and RBIs and all of these things. And
is that the Moneyball guy?
And then I think it culminated. No, it wasn't. He wasn't. I don't think Moneyball was based on him. It was a different guy. His name was Bill James. The Bill James Historical Baseball Abstract is a book. Oh God, I wish we could end it on that.
Why not?
Anyway, I'm going to talk to people about getting some shows this week. I did a bunch of sets last week. It was super fun.
This week too, if anyone's listening.
If anyone's listening, it's got some sets around town. I'd love it. I know that Beth Stelling is doing Largo on Friday. I might. If I can't, I don't think I can get on that show. I think that show's probably booked by now. But I might just, I would like to see her long set or how she hosts. I would like to see that. That'd be kind of cool. If I'm not working Friday, I might do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even if I am working and there's time. So good times. Or we could, Desperate Times could be another Zoom show.
Why not? Why not?
We're home.
Our fans love to see the evolution of the jokes.
It's true. Yeah, they do.
Let's do it.
All right.
Fun to do.
Well, we'll figure it out. Let me try to get something in person, but then I'm on board.
Me too.
Okay. Here's what I have to say about 57 minutes into the program.
Right.
I want to leave.